tuned for sports.
Keeping score with Jess and Dean, the dream.
It is Christmas Eve. We are here. It's the best time of year. How do you like my outfit?
Adorable.
Right? It's very comfy. I got a job lot a couple years ago. For those of you not watching us on YouTube right now, it's A Christmas Story, the bunny outfit.
Bunny rabbit he is?
Yeah, of course. But I feel like it keeps pulling down. On the road show, it kept falling off.
Oh, you big timed it on the road show the other day?
Obviously, I'm on TV and on radio.
And I noticed the little cover on the top of your head covers up the hair blowing out.
Yes, well, I mean,
You
I'm not
washed it?
I didn't. My hairdresser did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, cut in a color because I want the people. I want the public to know this.
Yeah.
So the other day I was driving down Oaklawn Ave, and all of a sudden I see Dean the Dream also driving down Oaklawn Ave, and I see him look at the license plate, and I call him up. I'm like, "Where are you going?" He's like, "Where are you going?" So I'm like, "Come meet me to get our Keeping Score merch so we can pass it out." So I just had my hair pulled back. I get out of the car. Oh, so your hair's pulled back? No blowout for you today? So I'm like, well, our last show of 2020. Oh, wait, actually, we're going to be on next week. Well, one of our last shows, our Christmas show, I'm like, well, obviously my hair has to be on point because if it isn't, then I'm going to get my chops busted. So there you go.
Where were we? In the parking lot of an Armenian church? Exchanging merch? There was sweatshirts.
Here's your bag. Here's my bag.
There were hoodies flying everywhere.
Everybody loves
As
the
your
hoodies.
little bunny here just hit the mic.
I know, seriously. I know. I got to put my headphones on. This is really throwing me off. So anyway, this is what I'm going to be wearing all day.
Nice.
So, but yeah, so it was a good time. And no, I'm happy to have our Christmas episode. We are going to exchange gifts at the end, which I'm very excited about. I hope you didn't get me too much because you're super generous.
No, you've always been good to me, and I just wanted to do something small. And like I said, I think we talked about this earlier on our Pro FM segment, but you guilted me into actually wrapping gifts this year.
Yeah, well, I'm proud of you.
But I mean, I actually got it's a struggle with the scissor and the tape, and it's ugly. It's a tough process, but I got it done.
Well, but some gifts are very hard to wrap. Like if they're an odd shape, I can understand that. But if it's a box, you should pretty much figure that out.
Right. Well, we're going to find out. Late innings on keeping score. But right now it's
you
early
wrapped
innings.
Mine?
I
thought you just wrapped your goddaughters.
I did, and then it's just a very little token thing for you. It's very small. It's just something that I saw in the mall.
Yep.
I made reference. I thought of you because I was walking through the mall, and you were talking about how a couple of weeks ago you were walking through and you got a lot done. Like FYE, is it FYE?
FYE, yeah.
Yeah. So you said that little strip. You kind of got a bunch of things, and I did basically the same thing, and it was productive. Yeah. Then I kind of slid into the little candy store and got some Swedish fish for myself as I'm walking around. Yeah. Sorry.
I didn't want you to.
No.
I didn't want you to give up the Christmas miracle.
No.
There's
no fish in the bag.
All right. Well, all right. It's fine. Now I can eat it because of the weight loss, and I have plenty of room in this suit.
Oh,
but
it's nice.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a fun episode.
Yes.
I appreciate you making it in today because I know how you are in directions and in traffic. How was it getting here today?
It was just that little lull for a few minutes where it was a little dicey with the lanes, but how's it going to be going home? That's the question.
That is the question.
That is the question. Okay. All right.
Well, we'll try to get you out of here as soon as possible, buddy, because I know.
I think it's important to just do a great show, have some fun today, and then I'll figure out all the rest later.
I'll get the text later.
I'm in bumper to bumper.
Swears. Well, I mean, at least I was literally last week or the week before, whatever it was, when we didn't come in.
You said 4 hours one day.
3 hours in the car.
No, I couldn't. I
was stopped. I put it in park.
Yeah.
Like I was almost ready to turn off the engine because I'm like, it has to open up eventually.
Right.
Like I can't be here an hour and not move an inch.
Imagine if something like that happens, Jess, and you're almost on E. You forget to maybe load the tank up, and all of a sudden you're in bumper to bumper for 3 hours. You're going down for the count. You got issues there.
There was someone on the bridge, not the red bridge, as you're going through Rumford, East Providence, and a car was pulled over because they did run out of gas. And so then people are going around the car because there's not enough lanes, whatever. It was a mess. I'm glad they opened up the 2 lanes because I never would have came back to this building if they didn't.
Wow. I gassed up last night, so I'm ready to go.
All right, very good. And if we're ready to go, then why don't we just start the show? How about that?
I like it.
All right, here we go. Football. I mean, I don't think we need to do a crazy review, but I do have audio of last week's loss.
I don't know where he was looking to throw this. Don't.
The two teams will spill off their sidelines, shake hands, and go their separate ways. The Chiefs bound for the playoffs once again as they get back on the winning track, avoiding a third straight loss to improve to 9-5. And the Patriots at 3-11, headed toward the final 3 weeks of this lost 2023 season.
What game was that? I just realized, was that the Chiefs game?
Yes.
Oh, all right, because I wasn't paying attention because I lost some audio for a second there. I feel as though Bill Belichick is tapped out. I feel like he should retire. I feel like he was just let's just stay in the game, but let's not try and win the game because that would just be outrageous.
Yeah, and of course, you just heard the Mac Jones pick. I mean, a Mac Jones pick. You heard Zolak say a Mac Jones type pick by Bailey Zappi, and it seemed to me, Jess, at that point, once he threw that pick, they put the clamps on the game, and they didn't want to even try to score at that point because early in the game, Zappi looked like he had a little rhythm with the offense.
Did.
Hunter Henry, there was some guys that were getting open, they were making some plays, but once that happened, it looked to me, and as you just said, it looked like late in the game with 4 minutes to go, they were just handing off, and as you see me look at my watch, it looked like that's what Belichick was doing, just tick, 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 and they didn't really even try to score. They were down 2 scores. There was no sense of urgency. They were just trying to get the bus warmed up, and they have mailed it in pretty much.
I just can't believe that this is a coach that would always say, do what's best for the team, do what's best for the team. So the best for the team is not try and win a game, just give up at home.
Yeah, and of course, Jess, you're going to start hearing the rumors now. As you see, of course, we talked about the Chargers all year, and I told you how disappointed I was in that team in general.
Terrible.
But of course, the coach, Brandon Staley, who was stubborn all the time, saying we're going to do it my way. Well, he just got pink slip, so he's gone. You're going to start hearing Bill Belichick to the Charger rumors, but of course, you're also hearing Jim Harbaugh from college in Michigan about a candidate. He could be a guy that could go there and rebuild that franchise with they believe, I guess, a franchise quarterback. But you're going to start hearing the Belichick rumors. I think it's over at the end of the year. I don't think he's a Patriot coach next year.
I don't think so either. Do you think he is going to coach? What is he,
72? 71, and I do think he coaches, and I don't see the fit with the Chargers.
People want to retire at 71?
Because he cares about the history of the game. I know you're saying he's tarnishing it by getting all these losses, but I don't see him West Coast. I still see it like a fit. Maybe Ron Rivera, I said it all, look at Washington. He's going to be pink slipped. The Giants, Dayball, we don't know. I see him with one of those type teams. That's the fit that I see. Maybe if the Cowboys collapse, maybe Mike McCarthy gets canned.
Way.
No, and the reason why I say no, and I agree with you, is the fact that there would be too much of a power struggle there. Jerry Jones is too much. No, not going to happen. He couldn't get along. He couldn't get along with Jimmy Johnson, and it cost him probably a couple of more Super Bowls back in the 90s.
He seems rather difficult, and Bill, as we know, is rather stubborn. So I don't see that.
Well, but when you don't win a Super Bowl for 30 years, maybe you finally say, all right, maybe I should just kick back, pay the bills, and let the coach do the coaching, and even let him, unfortunately, shop for the groceries, which Bill has not done a good job
No,
with.
definitely not. All right, well, let's look. It's Christmas Eve, so let's look forward to tonight's game, 8 o'clock, taking on Denver. Denver giving them 7 points. I know I was very hard on Russell Wilson earlier in the season and Peyton, and they're not bad.
No,
they're not bad.
They have turned it around. Peyton can coach. There was a little bit of an argument on the sidelines the other day. I didn't understand it, and I didn't like Peyton's answer when he said, "No, it was basically about the play before. We weren't having an argument. It was clearly looked like he was yelling at Russell."
He definitely did.
Russell has turned this season around. Of course, Denver 7-7, something to play for here, in a big matchup against the Pats, 3-11, just playing out the string. Russell Wilson, 2,800 yards passing, and of course, only a handful of interceptions. He has taken care of the football this year. Only 8 INTs, 24 touchdowns, and of course 10 of those to Cortland Sutton. That's the receiver that we're looking to kind of contain tonight. And I don't know if you're going to have Jonathan Jones in this game. They've got so many issues in that secondary now with Jones being out. He got hurt, and of course J.C. Jackson's dealing with some mental health issues, so we don't know who's really going to be able to cover him. They had a guy off the practice squad just signed before the game.
Well, they probably like that.
The last second for the KC game. So
they're like, we don't have to pay you.
You got guys like Jalen Mills are starting to complain now. It just seems like there's a lot of in-house stuff. And guys, this is usually what happens when you're 3-11. So it just kind of happens. But of course, Denver needs this game at 7-7. It's going to be try to have it as a fun night. I know you've said you might have to have a couple of eggnog spiked.
Oh, I'm not even going to remember halftime. I'm not even going to get to halftime.
Wow.
Auntie Linda, we'll be starting the dance party right around that time.
Know what I would love to see, and I don't have the forecast in Denver for this game, but I would love to see a little bit of snow.
Yeah.
It's just nice to see. It's enjoyable. Give us another reason to say, "Oh, it's nice." At least a nice visual.
A nice visual. That's it. No playing, just a nice little winter wonderland on the field.
And of course, the Pats have got a few injuries. Ramondre Stevenson won't play in this game. Zeke Elliott, he's been the featured guy the last couple of weeks. Zeke's actually been okay for the Pats.
He has.
But of course, he's another guy that recently spoke out about the play call, and so a lot of in-house stuff, guys. The idea is for that stuff not to get out, and it looks like it's starting to get out.
Oh, they don't care.
You got a guy like Trent Brown, the left tackle, plays when he feels like it. He's bragging for Malik Cunningham, saying, it's nice that you finally got to a place where you can showcase your skills. You're a third stringer. We don't even know if you're a quarterback yet. So why don't you just worry about getting your next contract, because that's usually what you're always worried about, and stop bashing the team that you're playing for.
Yeah, but I also think now Bill was used to those kind of like you, those guys that are just like loyal. They have their
Company
pride,
guys.
and they're just like, we're going to believe in this.
Yeah.
No one believes in it. Everyone is
True.
just doing their own thing, and they're just like, why can't I say what I want to say?
Yeah.
I was listening to, it was an ex-Patriots player, and he said one day that, I can't remember who they were playing. They were up by whatever. It was when Tom Brady was playing. And he said in the newspaper, he's like, well, we were up by so much. Honestly, by the fourth quarter, I wasn't really giving it my all. Bill Belichick apparently read the whole article, took him into the office like a principal, and said, why did you say this stuff?
Yeah.
And he had him read it to him, what the quote was from the article. These kids nowadays are not going to handle that. They're not the same manner. They would never sit and be like, oh, well, Daddy's mad.
Yeah.
I can't say anything. Papa's upset. So it's just a different, he's going to lose all of them, so he needs to go.
Yeah, it looks like it's over.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we've seen enough.
We've seen enough.
It's time. It's time for a change, whether it's Gerard Mayo, and I've told you I like Gerard Mayo, but he's a defensive guy. This team needs an infusion with offense. So I need an offensive-minded coach. And I'm not saying Mike Vrabel's that guy, but Tennessee's kind of faltering, so maybe he'd be the guy. He'd be the only guy from the system, even though he didn't coach here. He's the only guy from the family, from the fraternity that I would say, I wouldn't call him a retread. Like McDaniels would be a retread.
Oh, yeah, forget
you brought
that.
Charlie Weiss out of retirement, he'd be a retread. I'm talking about a guy who's at least played there and knows the system. Vrabel would still be my guy, and that's still the guy I'm hoping for.
Yeah, but I think Vrabel has hope with his team right now. I think Levis looks good. They still have D-Hop. I don't think that's a bad team. He can build that team and make it good, more so than starting from scratch with us, because we got nothing.
Hopkins actually had a pretty decent year, but he's 32, will be 33 during the season next year, and of course,
what I wouldn't do to be 32,
yeah,
33.
well, in football eyes, that's pretty old. So, and of course, Derrick Henry's close to 30. He's got a lot of tread on those tires. So I don't know. I agree with you on Levis, but I don't know what else that he really has around him.
Right.
So
at least as a quarterback, the most important position.
It helps.
Yeah.
It helps.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you want to thank our sponsors, and then what we'll do is we'll get to the week? Okay,
yes.
Here we go.
Keeping score with Jess and Dean the Dream, sponsored by
Generations Adult Day Health Center. Generations is a day facility in Smithfield that provides services to meet the needs of adults with disabilities and the elderly. Their staff provides a range of adult day health services, such as case management, nursing, healthcare, nutrition, and more. At Generations, you're taken care of with registered nurses, certified nursing assistants, and plenty of direct care support staff on the floors at all times. With nearly 30,000 square feet of space, the state-of-the-art facility includes an open dining room, spacious physical and occupational therapy suites, a fully equipped gym and exercise room, and a TV movie theater, just to name a few. To find out more, visit generationsri.com. That's generationsri.com. Prout Mechanical in Providence, a family-owned and operated business. They provide HVAC installations, replacements, and maintenance services. They also offer indoor quality services to make sure that your home remains healthy and safe. They have licensed and trained technicians to keep up with industry standards and technology. They're also an authorized Mitsubishi Electric Diamond Elite contractor, so they can provide the best heating and cooling solutions. So get in touch with them today. Visit ProutHVAC.com. That's ProutHVAC.com, or call them at 487-4343 for a free estimate. All right, Week 16, let's look ahead. But before we do that, Thursday's night's game, it was New Orleans against the Rams, and both teams kind of needed a win right there. And I will say this. The majority of teams are 7-7, 6-8. Like, no one is good.
No separation. They're all in that little bottled into that little, and that's when you look on TV and you see like teams that are teams that are like, it'll say in the hunt.
Right.
You've got so many of those teams that even those teams that are 5-8, they think they still have a chance. 6-7, 6-8. It's all bottled up right now. And you're right. These two teams. This was a big game for both teams.
Yeah, and I have to say, I don't know if you watched any of it. The Rams were giving New Orleans 4. And I ended up shutting it off in the third quarter because Stafford looked good. Like, he looked like he was a fountain of youth. He was excellent.
He's been playing pretty well, and of course, Jess, I was underwater at work, but I mean, if you woke up the next day and looked at your newspaper or went online, 30-22, you'd say, "Ooh, a ball game." But this was blowout city, pretty much. 30-7, they were up with 12 minutes to go, and this lines up just as I've been saying for 2 years since we've been working together. This was Derek Carr all day, 319 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Garbage stats, because this is what he does when they're down big and you stop running the ball. You get fantasy stats, and that's what Derek Carr's been doing for almost 10 years now. Stafford, 328 yards and 2 touchdowns. And, of course, we're looking at Offensive Rookie of the Year in wide receiver Puka Nacua.
He's amazing.
Unbelievable.
I can't believe some of the catches he made.
9 catches for 164 yards and a touchdown. And, of course, he's pretty much made Cooper Kupp pretty much the second receiver on that team.
I know.
And they've been solid lately. They've won 5 of 6. They're in the playoff hunt now at 8-7. New Orleans drops to 7-8, and they've been running the ball with Kyron Williams, 22 carries for 104 yards and a touchdown. And the Rams are feeling pretty good about themselves. Sean McVay basically said, guys, take off the next 3-4 days, come back next week. They won 2 games in 5 days, so things are looking up for the Rams.
But I will say this, watching the game, there was a key point with New Orleans when there was 3rd and I think it was maybe 4 or 5, and they threw it to Olave, and it was a good throw, and he just didn't catch it.
Yeah.
So that could have turned the game around.
Okay.
I mean, the Rams did miss a field goal kick, so they were in it. It was 7-10, like going before,
Yeah.
It was doable, but yeah, in the end,
this is what I
think the Rams just looked better.
This is what I told you when they gave Carr $40 million a pop. I said, New Orleans, 8-9, 9-8, and in that division, it could be enough.
Yeah.
So they got hope at 7-8, but they don't really do much for me. I like the way the Rams are trending. I like the way that team's going.
Yeah, they do.
They
look
could
good.
sneak in. McVay's a very good coach.
Very good coach, and he's nice and young. All right, so let's do today's games. We got Indy at Atlanta. Atlanta giving them 2.5. I don't know, both these teams, I never understand them.
I mean, of course,
I never get it.
Atlanta's burnt me all year. I keep telling you that. But Indianapolis, I told you, they a nice little story here. Shane Steichen, the rookie head coach, he's done a nice job. Don't forget, they threw Anthony Richardson in there as a rookie quarterback. He blows his shoulder out, has surgery like week 4, week 5. It's Ghana Minshew, who's been pretty good.
No, he has.
And right now the problem is Jonathan Taylor's got a thumb injury. We don't know how much he's going to be able to play, and they need him to run the football. It helps, So this one's tough. And of course, Desmond Ridder's been benched again by the Falcons. It looks like Taylor Heineke's going to be back in there, so he's going to get another crack at it. The quarterback. They just keep shuttling quarterbacks in for Atlanta, but they're in the hunt. This one's tough. They've been burning me all year. I do like Atlanta at home because it's late in the season. They are at home. I'm going to go with them.
Steve. All right, we're going with Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I really don't know about that game. All right, Seattle at Tennessee. Tennessee getting 3 points. Seattle, wow, Drew Lock. Didn't see that one coming the other night. I shut off the Eagles game because I'm just like, 17, whatever, they got it.
That was a terrific finish. I actually got called into work that night. Actually saw you briefly.
You've been working too much.
I know it, really. What's it all for?
Is this money in my Christmas gift?
Wow, just looking for cheddar over here. But no, this game, I saw the end of it, and it was a beautiful finish. It was a big win for Seattle.
Yeah.
Locks pumped. But, of course, Geno Smith said, I'm happy for him, but, of course, I expected to play in this game. He has been nursing a groin injury. They were losers of 4 straight, so Pete Carroll went with Locke. And, of course, Geno Smith hopes to be back for this game. It's kind of up in the air.
Right.
I think it's a very, very important game. Even though they're on the road, I am going to take Seattle in this one.
All right, very good. We have Detroit at Minnesota. Minnesota also getting 3 points on this. Who's Minnesota's quarterback now?
So they've had C.J. Mullins. He's was the third guy. He came off IR.
Didn't he play basketball?
No.
Who was that? Chris Mullins.
Oh, wow.
I'm kidding.
It was Chris Mullins. There was no S at the end. I love you, though.
Well, same thing.
He had the flat top in the 80s.
If there was 2 of them, there would be Mullins.
Oh, wow. Doing plurals over here. I think Soup Campbell on the road with Detroit. They get it done here with Goff and the boys running the ball. They've been terrific running it, so I like Detroit.
Definitely. All right, we got Washington at the Jets, and the Jets are giving Washington 3. I mean, who cares, really?
I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, what?
I know.
I'm looking at Washington. Like I said, Ron Rivera at the end is near, very near.
TikTok.
And of course, I hate to say it, even though it's not his fault that the Aaron Rodgers thing, 4 minutes into the first game of the season, but Robert Salah may not make it either.
You don't think so?
I don't know on that one. I think
he's doing pretty well.
Okay, what do you got? 5 wins? Okay, all right.
Bill Belichick has 3.
Well, I mean, if you measure it up against that, okay, but they've been anemic, and they go back to Zach Wilson. I know he was Player of the Week one week, but that team seems bad. So
right.
I mean,
I'm
with you. I don't even care in the game. I'll let you pick it.
I'm gonna go Washington.
Okay.
Even though, watch the Jets win. Green Bay at the Panthers at Carolina. Carolina getting 4.5. I mean, Green Bay disappointed me last week. Like, what was that?
Yeah, I don't know, Justin. Just when I thought, Jordan Love was starting to find his way, he reverts back. He just needs to play more football, and it looks like they're going to be on the outside looking in. They can still got to punch his chance for the playoffs. And, of course, we are definitely rooting for the Carolina Panthers in this game. They did pick up a win a couple of weeks ago.
With the kick.
And that helps the Patriots as far as, still a puncher's chance for that number one draft choice. But, unfortunately, even though Green Bay's on the road and struggling, I am going to take the Packers in this one.
Definitely. Cleveland at Houston. Houston getting 3 at home. I don't know. I went with Houston last week, and they didn't disappoint.
Well, Stroud's been out, though. He's been hurt in concussion protocol, so they've been winning with the backup, which I believe was...
he used to play.
He played for them before, so his name eludes me right now, and I just had a brain...
Kasem?
Yeah, Case Keenum.
Case Keenum.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's been there before. I guess he even played... He won a playoff, got to a playoff with them. Cleveland with Joe Flacco, it looked like that the novelty had worn off, and he threw a big touchdown late in the game. They've been winning with their defense, but Flacco's been handing it off to Hunt. He got a big play to a 50-yard touchdown to Amari Cooper late in the game. I'm going to take Flacco on the road with this one.
They have better weapons.
Yeah.
We got Jacksonville at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay giving Jacksonville 3. Why is that? Because
Jacksonville's been trending the other way. I couldn't believe Trevor Lawrence didn't miss a game because we saw him like he was in a boot. He couldn't even walk a few weeks ago, but he's been playing, but he hasn't been playing effectively. And I'm starting to wonder about him, even though he was the number one pick in that draft that obviously was disappointing with the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
With Mac Jones and Trey Lance and Justin Fields, and nobody's really panned out. But I said from day one, Jacksonville got their franchise guy, and I still believe in him, but I haven't been that impressed. I mean, there was a turnover on Monday Night Football a couple of weeks ago where it was unforced. There was nobody near him. He tried to run the ball up the left sideline and inexplicably just lost the football. He's made a lot of mistakes, and it looks like they're pressing a little bit right now, and they're limping to the finish line. I am going to say they rebound in this one, even though it's at Tampa, and Mayfield has had a decent year.
Yeah, he has nothing to lose.
And by the way, let's give some credit to Mike Evans, the wide receiver. I know he had Brady for a few years, but he's been around a bunch of quarterbacks in his 10 seasons. 10 seasons in Tampa, 10 seasons, 1,000 yards or more receiving.
Oh, wow, that's impressive. All right, so we are going to go with Jacksonville. Maybe if Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert cut their hair, maybe they'll play better.
Oh, wow, we're talking hair again.
I'm just saying. We got Arizona at Chicago. Chicago giving them 4. I'm going with Chicago. I don't think they look too bad. Arizona, I think, is dead.
Yeah, and of course, Kyler Murray, it's not the leg this time, but he's got another nagging injury he had to come out of a game. So, there's another team that you're right around New England for draft picks. So I've been watching those teams very close. And I am going to give some credit to the Chicago Bears. They've been playing hard.
Yeah.
And they've had a couple of wins recently, and they look like they're trending in the right direction. They have to make a decision real soon on what they're going to do with Fields. I'm with you. I like the Bears in this game.
We got Dallas at Miami. This is going to be a good game tonight, 4:25 on Fox. I feel like, I don't know. That one's tough because I think they're two good teams, but I also think they're two teams that lose to good teams. So
Absolutely.
I don't know what's going to happen.
Absolutely. You stole the thunder. And, of course, Dallas, they went into Buffalo and got whacked, okay? And there was a chance right there for Dak Prescott, who's been mentioned as an MVP candidate. That was a game where, he really could have made a signature moment there, and he couldn't do it.
Nothing.
And, of course, that game was never in doubt. And Josh Allen didn't even have to do much in that game. He didn't even throw for 100 yards. He threw 15 passes in that game. It was handoff city to Cook, and he was terrific. And, Dallas got rolled. Now, of course, we think they can bounce back in this one, but Miami at home, I like McDaniel and the Dolphins. Again, both teams don't have a ton of signature wins. They haven't been beating good teams, but Miami at home, I'm going to take the Dolphins.
All right, very good. We have, and we already talked about New England and Denver for Christmas Day matchups. We got Vegas at Kansas City giving Vegas 10. Vegas didn't look too bad to me. I mean, I know they scored against a team that was crap, but still 63 points in a game is pretty impressive.
Yeah, and of course we saw the Chiefs come into Foxborough and beat the Patriots, but not
They
that
look
impressive.
terrible.
And Mahomes looks unhappy.
Yeah.
He's throwing balls to Tony
totally does.
off Tony's hands. He's had a lot of drops. The kid who was offsides a few weeks ago. Yeah, so they're getting W's, but they're limping to the finish line. Listen, as long as you got Patrick Mahomes, you got a chance. But of course, I like them at home in this game to bounce back. I'll take the Chiefs.
We got New York Giants at the Eagles. Eagles giving them 13.5. 13.5.
Yeah, I mean, the Phillies really hit the wall here late in the season. They've had a couple of bad losses.
Yeah.
I don't know if Hurts is not healthy. You know, the butt rush when everybody's like scooches in and they haven't had many of them lately.
I think it's called the tush push, not
tush
the butt
push?
the butt rush.
Oh, is that an edit?
No, but I am going to use that in our highlights.
I renamed it.
24 minutes in.
And of course, we look on the other side. You look at the New York Giants. Of course, DeVito. He's mom's still making him dinner. He's I don't know if he's paying rent down in the cave.
No.
But there's a big story this week that he him and his agent doubled the fee to go some pizza joint in New Jersey.
Yeah.
So obviously he's big time in it right now.
Yeah, but he got rid of his agent
wow.
because what happened was they were going to charge. It was a mom and pop shop, right? So say we were going to Merlino's, right?
Okay.
On Dyer Ave.
Free plug.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we were going to go there to have some pizza, and they said, listen, $10,000 DeVito to come in, because I always want to say Danny.
Right.
And he started playing better. So then the agent's like, all right, now it's going to be $20,000 mom and pop shop. And they were just like, we can't afford that.
But we're both sides kind of arguing over like discrepancy. Like, well, I never really said that.
Yeah,
but then,
and then
the
it was just
agent
like
said, well, we
paperwork.
didn't really have a contract. But then didn't DeVito show up or something?
For free.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll give him.
He did the right thing.
All right.
But at the same point, it's probably because his mom was going to kick him out.
Oh wow.
Be a better person. But yeah.
By the way,
anyway.
speaking of Merlino's pizza, I had one a couple of weeks ago. It was terrific.
Yeah.
Well done. Half, all with cheese, half pepperoni, half mushrooms. It was terrific.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, good to know.
Yeah, it's solid.
Yeah, I can't have that tonight. I have the 7 fishes tonight, but I'll get on the case maybe on the 26th because I have a bunch of days off.
This chick's strapping on the feedback.
Yeah, whatever. I love it. I've been meaning to go there. So anyway.
Oh, wow.
All right, last game for Christmas Day. Baltimore at San Francisco. I am looking forward to this game as well. San Francisco giving them 5.5. They are at home. That's going to be a good game.
Yeah, and of course, you're talking MVP right now, and Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, two guys on that team that obviously could get it. A lot of people are saying Purdy's got all the weapons, but he's been making all the throws.
Yep.
And other than that 3-game losing streak early in the season, Jeff, they've been lights out. When they've got their players and the complement of players and all the weapons, I love the Niners, and I like them in this game, even though I like the way Lamar Jackson's been playing too. Baltimore, they're starting to catch the football. They've been running the football pretty well, and their defense is coming around. I think it's going to be a good game. I'm hoping for a good game in this one. I still will take San Fran, though.
And do you think San Francisco is your Super Bowl champion this year? I mean, if no one right now, if you had to pick the winner of the Super Bowl, who are you going with?
I would say them. I said it early in the year. I had them against Cincinnati, and then Burrow went down, but then they won 3 games with Browning. They're not my pick anymore, obviously. Right. But in the AFC, I think it's wide open. But in the NFC, I said it all year. San Francisco and Philly, and Philly's not trending in the right direction. They better get it together. Sirianni better get them regrouped because it looks like right now San Fran is the team
by far
in the class of the NFC.
All right, well, now we get to Godson's games of the week. Let's see who we're going to bet on that parlay.
Let's go! Football! Godson's Games of the Week.
All right, he got 4 this week. He's going with Tennessee getting 3 at home against Seattle. He's going Detroit giving 3 to Minnesota. He's going with Dallas getting 1.
Yep.
And then he's going with Baltimore getting 5.5.
I like the last pick, Jess. I think Baltimore, that's going to be a close game. I like San Fran, but I think Baltimore can cover the 5.5. Tennessee, you're asking, you're at home, but you're asking a bad team to come through for you.
Right.
Soup Campbell on the road, I'm good with that. And the Dallas-Miami game, I mean, that can go either way. I like the Dolphins, but let's see if Godson can go into the new year with at least
big money.
end the season. Yeah, that's what we're hoping for, a little bounce back here.
All right, so speaking of bouncing, how about we get to the NBA?
All right.
Jalen dribbles behind his back, is going nowhere. 3 on the shot clock. Porzingis has to bail him out with a 3. Got it.
Whew. Spot on.
22 points, 8 rebounds. Jalen Strong down the right side. Elevates, throws it down hard with the right hand. Pumps his fist for the Celtics bench. And you think it's raining in California. Jaylen Brown just made it rain inside the Golden One Center.
Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?
The Celtics riding the bus up to Capital City and playing without Jason Tatum, laid down a battery on the Sacramento Kings. They knocked down 22 threes, lead by 30 on their way to a 25-point win, and they've regained the best record of the NBA at 21-6.
Much needed, because when they were playing the Warriors, I was just like, this is a team that isn't that good. I mean, they're okay. They're aged, in my opinion. And then they ended up losing to them in overtime, and Steph Curry basically putting them to sleep.
Yeah, and of course, when we talk about you're a big football person, when I talk about as long as you got Mahomes, you got a chance. As long as you had Brady, you had a chance.
Right.
Well, on the hoop end of it, I know they are an aging team, and I agree with you with Golden State that dynasty thing is pretty much history.
Right.
But as long as you still got Steph Curry, you have a chance. And he was lights out in that game, and the Celtics kind of gagged that one away. Very, very disappointing loss to start the road trip. But of course, as you heard the sound, we do like how they bounced back and dropped 144 on Sacramento. A very good basketball team with De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis in the middle. That's a good basketball team. So the Celtics did come back. Pritchard's been playing well off the bench, and of course you didn't have Horford in that game also.
Right.
Tatum, Horford, Luke Cornett, backup center was out. So you got a lot of Peyton Pritchard. Sam Hauser jumped into the starting lineup. He's been doing a nice job, even on the defensive end and hitting the 3-ball. So it's opportunities for other guys to step up, and Jalen's been playing well with Porzingis in there. They've been kind of careful with him lately with that calf injury, so he hasn't played every game. But the Celtics at 21-6, I think they're okay, and I think they're 14-0 at the Garden, so they haven't lost a home game this year,
which is very nice.
Yeah.
But I will say, going back to which I do like them bouncing back. My problem is if that is a Game 7, you don't have a chance to bounce back. You need to get better in that beginning of the fourth quarter, because that's when you lose everything. And I don't know if you heard, but I think at one point during the game, it was Jaylen Brown saying that Steph Curry was too small, and then how did that work out for him? Don't talk trash to Steph Curry when you know what he can do.
Bag the W first, and then you can talk
then
trash
you can do
later.
whatever you want.
But, the little thing with the hand down, you're too small. Steph Curry's still an elite player at 30, almost 35 years of age. He's still a terrific player. And I do agree with you that Golden State team is checked in their age. And, of course, Draymond Green is suspended indefinitely by the league.
He has problems.
He has problems. I think he may have. Someone asked me the other night, has he played his last game? I said, well, he's possibly played his last game for Golden State. They may look to move him. I think Kerr's had it with him. I think everybody's had it with him. So, but you look at the rest of that team. Klay Thompson has lost a step. He had a big game against the Celtics, but of course, Andrew Wiggins has been off his game. He had some problems last year off the court. They think it's a conditioning thing. So Golden State's trying to find it, and their young players haven't really developed the way they believe that they would with Jonathan Kuminga and the kid Moses Moody. So they're hoping that those guys start to get better and maybe kind of, a lot of tread on the tires of those veterans, maybe save their legs a little bit. It just hasn't happened.
I do have one more question. When they were playing the Warriors and Steph Curry got the shot, why? I feel like, was it that game where they didn't call a timeout at the end, and then they just had Tatum go down and take it? Why, when you have 11 seconds on the clock, take it to half court?
I agree with you. I mean, some coaches like to play it out because they don't let you get a chance to set up on defense also. But, I mean, this has happened a couple of times earlier in the year against Minnesota, another team that's close to the Celtics in record right now, where it seems like every time there's a game tied, it's either Brown or Tatum dribbling down in a tie game. But it's a 3 from the top of the key, and you don't need a 3. It's a 2 wins the game. How about drive the hoop?
And then
or
get
driving
fouled.
kick or something. But it just seems like it's just one-on-one, and it seems like the Celtics don't win in overtime. So it's regulation city, but at 21-6, it's really tough to, we're really nitpicking to try to find some things. But Golden State's a team, whether they're what they were before or not, that's a team you got to beat. You got to win games like that.
Right. All right. They are playing tomorrow against the Lakers. That wraps up their West Coast trip, right?
Yeah.
So that should be great to watch.
So
maybe we watch that instead.
That's fun. Well, I was, when you saw 3 games on the slate for football, you got, I think, 5 NBA games that day. So there's basketball and football. It's going to be a lot of that remote's going to get a workout.
As well as my liver. All right. Well, is there anything?
Sponge liver.
I'm just saying. I have 3 days off in a row. Are you kidding me? It's going to go nuts. Is there anything else you want to talk about in the NBA before we get into some hot stove news?
Well, it's quick. I've been picking on James Harden, but it looks like the Clippers are starting to gel a little bit out on the West Coast. They won 8 or 9 in a row. They've been hot, so they've kind of found their way. And the Minnesota Timberwolves has still been a great story. They're 21-7. So there's some good teams, some nice stories. Joker's doing his thing with Denver, and it's right now it's the Celtics and the Bucks in the East. So there's a lot of stuff going on as you look at some of these teams, and some teams looking to already kind of make moves to try to better their roster. The Bulls actually have come around. They've been winning some games under Billy Donovan. Excuse me.
Are you all right?
I'm good. And I don't think it's a coincidence that it seems like with Zach LaVine out with that foot injury I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, he's out 3 to 4 weeks. They've been winning games without him. So I mean, that may prompt them to possibly trade him before the deadline even more now, knowing that maybe that it was the pieces there are not fitting together. So maybe he may be a guy, not that he's a problem in the locker room, but it seems like he may be a guy that could be on the move. So look out for that.
All right, very good. We're going to get to Hot Stove, and then we'll thank our sponsors after that. You know what's sad, Dean? It's like there's no money in baseball, It's not like they throw around stupid money or anything. It's just a sport where they're just like, you do it because you love the game.
Yeah. It's
any news on any breaking news on players?
Well, Craig Breslow did not make the big splash with the Red Sox because obviously everybody was in on right-handed pitcher Yamamoto from Japan. He was the big guy, and everybody figured it was like, Yankees, Mets. Yep. Mets wanted him. Steve Cohen's got billions of dollars. He was looking to spend some. Obviously, everybody thought maybe he wouldn't go to the Dodgers because they said he wanted to be his own guy and maybe he'd be in the shadow with Ohtani there. But, of course, they're both Japanese players. They're friendly. Mm-hmm. So, obviously, he decides to go to the Dodgers for 12 years and $325 million. This kid at 25 is an elite pitcher.
Oh, my God.
He is terrific. And, of course, the Dodgers are sort of bucking the system here with the Ohtani deal, which was for $700 million. But $68 million of those $70 million per year is deferred. So, next year, so he's only going to get, they got to pay him eventually. But it frees them up and allows them to make moves now to spend money on players because that money is deferred. They're going to worry about it down the road.
Yeah,
so,
right.
So Ohtani will make $2 million next year, but have $68 million of that $70 million deferred. But listen, this just puts more pressure on the Dodgers because this is a team that's already got. Think about it now. You've got Mookie Betts. Mm-hmm. You've got Freddie Freeman. You've got Ohtani. Those are your top three hitters in the lineup. All MVP candidates, of course. Ohtani won it in the American League. Mookie and Freddie Freeman finished 2 and 3 in the voting to Ronald Acuna Jr. Mm-hmm. So you got a loaded team there, and they got the big pitcher on the market because they did need pitching. They don't know if Clayton Kershaw is going to be back for another season. He's Hall of Fame bound when he decides he wants to hang him up. But it's going to be interesting to see the Dodgers. Dave Roberts has got all the toys there to play with and just has to win. And like I said, I don't count that 2020 COVID year. That's not a World Series for 60 games. So they need to win it all in a full season.
The Dodgers are Godson's favorite team, so that's saying nothing. But I just wanted to say, like, that if anybody likes the Dodgers, it's my godson. He has a lot of merch.
Now, see, I don't know him personally, but like, is he typical? Like, doesn't like any of the New England teams? Is he one of those guys? Because I mean,
because he likes the Dolphins.
Here we go.
Yeah, and he likes the Dodgers.
Yeah,
I think he likes the Bruins. I don't know if he does hockey. I don't know.
Because it's one of those things, like, if you don't like any of the New England teams, then what are you living here for? Like, just
because
move.
He likes to bet on them.
Oh, wow.
So I would think now, if we were to bet, I don't even know if it's possible to bet on the World Series champion, but they're going to say it's going to be the Dodgers, and then you're not going to win any money.
Yeah, they have to be
literally is going to be.
They have to be the prohibited favorites right now, and of course the Yankees are going to be back with the Soto move. That was a huge move for them.
Yeah, right. So they had the lineup there. Do you want to do your little cough off here? I feel like you need to do a cough.
Oh,
let me
killing the mic.
I don't know. Let me like maybe I'll just play something. There you go. All right, good. We cleared your throat.
It's a Christmas edition of Keeping Score here. Anything goes.
Anything goes.
Yeah, anything goes. You got
We're back.
the Christmas story outfit on with the bunny rabbit ears.
That's right. You shoot your eye out.
We're having a lot of fun here.
Yeah, of course. We always do. It's just nice to be back.
Obviously, the Dodgers are having a lot of fun. They signed Ohtani and Yamamoto, the two Japanese sensations.
Yeah.
So they're living pretty good out in L.A. right now.
I wonder if I don't know if I should say this. Do they have to save on like a translator because they have each other now, or I don't. That's not out of the question because one of them doesn't have his translator anymore.
So $700 million, $325. That's $1.25 billion. I mean, I don't think they're worried about like what they're paying a translator at this point. Maybe they can get the one that the Red Sox fired their translator. They can scoop him up. What are we doing here?
I don't know. What are we doing here?
Crazy.
Imagine if I just had someone to speak for me the entire time. I get it is because they don't know the language, but at the same point, it's like I could just be like, Steve, just answer for me. It would be great.
Yeah. So I
would love that life.
Not to get off the track here, but I was waiting on a party last week, and it happened to be Rocky Spardello who won the swag. He got the hoodie.
Very nice. Was he wearing it?
No, he wasn't wearing it that night. But he had a party of 5, and one of the guys at the table, so of course, Rocky said Dean's got a show with Jess on, Pro FM, and of course 790 The Score. They do a segment. So he asked me about Ohtani. The guy seemed to know baseball, but his face almost turned white when I told him because he goes, "Is he worth the money?" I said, "Well, eventually." I go, "Maybe. I mean, $70 million is a lot of cheddar." I said, "But no, next year." I go, "He's not going to pitch." He said, "I don't understand." I said, "Well, he just had surgery on his elbow. He's just going to bat next year, so he's a DH. You're paying $70 million for a DH."
Yeah,
it's and the guy was just like he couldn't believe it. It was just like I'm like, listen, I've said it I'll say it again. If they're giving these types of contracts out, they're obviously making the money.
Of course.
The Dodgers have one of the biggest, markets for it, and they have one of the biggest TV contracts, so the money is funneling in. And what they'll make with the merch on these guys, with Ohtani and Yamamoto, it's just crazy. But again, what does it mean for a team like the Red Sox, who from what we hear, they made an offer for this guy, but of course they always come up short. He probably just didn't want to go to Boston, and the Red Sox come up short again. The Reds, they look like they're a team it looks like Bloom. This is Bloom Jr. running it right now with Breslow.
Well, I mean, Fenway is a historic park, so if you want to, just take in the history of a game or go to a show, I know Noah Khan's going to be there next summer.
I don't like your tone right now.
Well, I'm just saying, what are you going for? What are you going for? Like, there's nothing to be excited about right now for the Red Sox.
And of course, like I said, the Yankees will be back. You got Soto, they got Verdugo. They're going to be on the corners next year, left and right field, respectively.
See the Doogie shaved? He looks good and all cleaned up.
Shaved for the
He looks
Bronx.
like a totally different person.
Yeah, well, he had issues when he was with the Dodgers. He had issues hustling with Boston. Yeah. You are what you are, so I'm just saying we'll see what you get out of that. But
I mean, that's not the one I'm excited about. Yeah. Like, I just didn't mind him as a Red Sox.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Let's thank our sponsors because, I mean, I don't want to run out of time because we have 20 minutes left and we have to do gifts.
As you would say, let's blast.
Yeah, let's blast.
Keeping score with Jess and Dean the Dream, sponsored by
Generations Adult Day Health Center. Generations is a day facility in Smithfield that provides services to meet the needs of adults with disabilities and the elderly. Their staff provides a range of adult day health services, such as case management, nursing, healthcare, nutrition, and more. At Generations, you're taken care of with registered nurses, certified nursing assistants, and plenty of direct care support staff on the floors at all times. With nearly 30,000 square feet of space, the state-of-the-art facility includes an open dining room, spacious physical and occupational therapy suites, a fully equipped gym and exercise room, and a TV movie theater, just to name a few. To find out more, visit generationsri.com. That's generationsri.com. Prout Mechanical in Providence, a family-owned and operated business. They provide HVAC installations, replacements, and maintenance services. They also offer indoor quality services to make sure that your home remains healthy and safe. They have licensed and trained technicians to keep up with industry standards and technology. They're also an authorized Mitsubishi Electric Diamond Elite contractor, so they can provide the best heating and cooling solutions. So get in touch with them today. Visit ProutHVAC.com. That's ProutHVAC.com, or call them at 487-4343 for a free estimate.
4 miles of skating tonight. Wild have numbers the other way. Eriksson Ek to Kaprizov. He scores! Second of the night! Kaprizov wins it for the Wild in overtime.
So the Bruins, still nothing to, be upset about. However, they're coming down to earth, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, and of course, Jess, a lot of teams would love to be 19-5, but they've also had 6 losses in overtime, so they haven't been able to finish games off. And we saw this in round 1 last year of the playoffs with that epic exit. And it looks like they're still having a nice season, but there's a lot of games that they just can't seem to put teams away. They get leads and they get a little complacent, and they don't seem to have that killer instinct right now.
Maybe it's the TD Garden.
Well, they've had a couple of these little hiccups on the road also. But, I'm just looking at this team. Pasternak's been doing his job with 43 points so far. And, of course, Pavel Zacha and Charlie McAvoy were banged up a little bit. Both guys are back from injuries, so that helps. Of course, Zacha's a first-line guy, so it helps up there with Marchand. And so I think the Bruins will be okay. The two-headed goalie's still working. So it just seems like they just need to be a little bit more assertive late in games and being able to put teams away. They've been giving teams life late.
Yeah, which... So do the Celtics. However, the Celtics haven't lost at home. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be some sort of sage thing that's done at the TD Garden just to clean it out.
Drop it. Sage. What do you want to bring Kyrie back? What are we doing here?
Oh, no.
But Jess, of course,
where is he playing?
He's with Dallas. He's got a heel injuries out right now. But Jess, you look at right now. You look at the Bruins and the Celtics. I'm glad you mentioned it because you got the Patriots 3-11. Nobody cares right now. You got the Red Sox. The aforementioned Red Sox we just talked about. Can't even make a splash in free agency. Maybe they'll do it through the trade market. But this is a chance for the Celtics and Bruins to step up and know that right now the city is embracing these two teams. They want to see a championship from both teams, but at least one team. So it's there for the take, and they just have to stay focused. It's a long season. Of course, the NBA, it's 82 games, and hockey's 80. It's a long season.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about with the hockey? the National Hockey League?
I think I've covered it.
All right, so we're going to go to birthdays, and then we're going to talk a little PC, and then we're going to open our presents.
Wow.
It is Christmas Eve, December 24th. Happens every year. Whose birth?
All right. Now, I don't have much today on December 24th, but of course, Jay Wright is 62.
Okay.
Jay Wright, two-time NCAA champion, Villanova Wildcat coach. Terrific. Now, I was surprised when he retired, Jess, and I still think there's a lot left in the tank for him to coach. He's doing some work for CBS now in the studio, but I love Jay Wright. Sharp guy, great dresser, nice suits all the time, but he won 2 championships with Villanova. Of course, everyone remembers the 85 team with Rolly Massimino. Jay Wright, he kind of, he made his own way through there in Villanova, and he basically had the gym that they have now at Nova at Palestra named after him. So they love him down there. I think he's going to come back. I hope it's not at the NBA level. I think he could build another program up. I was very surprised to see him leave. But two-time, maybe he's burnt out. I don't know.
Maybe he wants to hang with his wife and kids.
What? Jay Wright is 62. Another Jay. How about this? Jay Billis is 60.
Okay.
4-year starter at Duke. He was a power forward for Duke, but I think he's, when I think of Jay Billis, I think of one of the top college basketball analysts in the country, okay? Terrific breaking it down for ESPN. A lot of studio work, a lot of color commentary doing the games. There's probably nobody better than Jay Billis. And I'm not one of those guys that loves those kind of personalities that are more on the articulate side. I like guys that kind of just say it like it is.
Right.
But he's actually both. He's got some wit to him. He's funny, but he's also very articulate. I think he actually has a law degree. He's a very, very smart guy, but he's terrific doing games. He's done a lot of games with Dick Vitale and a lot of guys for ESPN. I think he's one of the top 2 or 3 in the country doing it. And Jay Billis, of course, played for Mike Krzyzewski at Duke.
Oh, that guy was good stuff.
Yeah, and flipping over to the other side, I think this one's going to make you a little bit unhappy, but I'm throwing it out there anyways. Ryan Seacrest is 49, okay?
Whatever, he's washed up.
TV show host, and of course he did the show Kelly and Ryan for a while, but I know you're not a big Seacrest fan. I remember that from before, so that's why I just chuck it in there just for giggles.
He does radio, I do radio. He makes billions of dollars. I make $10. Anyway, but whatever. He's he did
but you're
the
happy.
best. Yes, of course.
Okay.
And he did the best, he took advantage. He's a hard worker. So I give it to him because he probably will be working on New Year's Eve where I will not be. So
you seem to be struggling with that compliment. I can see it in your face.
No, he's a hard worker.
Doesn't seem that sincere.
He hustles. He's a little bee. Anyway.
Telling the listenership what they want to hear.
No, trust me, he's on the same time I am, and there's no competition.
See,
all right,
this is why I did it. All right, those are my birthdays for the Christmas Eve.
Very nice. All right, let's get to some PC.
Outside the three-point stripe, spins. Here comes the double team. Kicks it out to Duval. Goes left. Carter gets off the 3. Yes! And Pierre, left wing, three-pointer game!
Oh, yeah, he likes that sideways there. Good job by Carter finding him on the wing. Knocks it down.
Ticket for 3, and the Friars grab their first lead at 16-14. Duval now wraps around, drive. Great pass! And a Hopkins! Duval no-look, underhanded pass to Bryce Hopkins, who slams it home!
How about that one?
Moly! Here's Gaines, going to go up for 3.
About time somebody made a shot. And Gaines slaps 5s with Tim Ingles running down the floor and iced the game.
Hopkins with a rebound, and Providence beats 6th-ranked Marquette.
Pretty impressive win. I mean, if Carter didn't play like he did, I don't know if it would have happened because I didn't think Hopkins stepped up enough during the game.
And I was there covering it for keeping score.
Yeah, where are the pictures that we were supposed to post on our social media pages?
I did forget that, didn't I?
Yeah. It's all right. It's fine.
Botched it.
You and Bobby just have a great time. Not working.
It's not like I even realized it after the game until you just said it now. I forgot because I think I said to you when we were exchanging merch in the Armenian parking lot at the Armenian church parking lot. You said take some pics.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
No, you took nothing from the game that we won against the 6th-seeded team.
All right,
That's fine.
Then I'm at least going to have to break down the game. What I saw was very enjoyable. And, of course, you see this PC team. And, of course, you heard John Rook mention the freshman point guard, Gawe Dual, twice. Now, 2 games in a row, 0 for 4, 0 for 4 from the floor. Hasn't made a field goal, but he had 7 assists the other night, 6 6'5" freshman guard with a 6'11" wingspan. He reaches havoc, and the PC defense put the clamps on Marquette. They couldn't do anything against the Friars.
Yeah.
And, of course, Devin Carter's been stepping up. He's been huge for the Friars, and it was smart that Kim English kept him out of the Sacred Heart game with a little bit of a nagging back injury. And it looks like, and what's more impressive in this game, Jess, to win 72-57, you only got 11 points and from Bryce Hopkins. He did have 9 rebounds, but he hasn't gotten hot yet.
No.
It's been Carter, and it's been all the complimentary parts.
Yeah, Ticket.
Ticket games with 5 threes. He had 18 points. And I remember a few weeks ago, and I got reprimanded by Delcar, okay,
Why?
who's, by the way, his merch is in. I'm going to make that happen for him, okay?
Okay, good.
But, he kind of corrected me a couple of weeks ago because we talked about the Bosa brothers, and I said it was John and Joe,
Yes,
but it was really Nick, and their dad was John. But my point is, you were adamant about the ticket gains thing because you were at the PCURI game.
Yeah.
And you said that's his real name because it's on the. I said, no, it's not. So when I say it's not, okay?
Oh,
But I'm just like,
Joe.
Well,
Bosa.
I botched the Bosa thing, but I'm correcting myself, and I owned it. But his real name is Devontae. Now, why it's Ticket? He wants to be called Ticket. Maybe that's to build his brand. I don't know, but it's Devontae Gaines. Either way, 18 points. He was key for the Friars. Stretches the floor, can hit the 3 ball, and the Friars look great on defense. And they put the clamps on Tyler Kolek from Cumberland. He did get 21 points, but he
came out hot in the second half.
And by the way, from what I'm hearing, he's somewhat of he's nothing like George McFly. He might look like him, but he's a punk.
Really? Is he a Mac Jones?
He was taught. Well, no, because Mac Jones is nasally, but this kid was taunting the bench all night. I guess like early in the game when he scored, and I'm hearing there was some things going on in the pregame.
Really?
Unfortunately, I was pregaming somewhere else, so
not posting any photos.
So basically, what is it? I'm hearing he had some he was chirping at the PC bench. Now I don't know if it was the players. I hope it wasn't Kim English because it's like he could be bitter because the Friars didn't recruit him, but it wouldn't be Kim English's fault.
Yeah, of course.
Even though ironically there could be history there because Kim English was at George Mason for 2 years, and that's where Kolek started. But I don't think they were there at the same time, so something was going on there. But Kolek needs to just play basketball. He was a little frustrated the other night. The Friars really they did some damage. It's going to be a fun season. I saw a couple of Big East games launch this week. You saw Connecticut, number 5 in the country, get blown out by Seton Hall by 15.
I couldn't believe that. Bobby called me to tell me it was on.
Villanova the other night, down 17 in the second half at Creighton, comes back and wins in overtime. So look for a lot of, I don't want to say parity, but you're going to see some teams knock off some other teams. The Friars, Butler the other day. There's a lot of teams that you might surprise you. Even Ed Cooley's team's going to be hustling. They're going to be playing hard. Probably not going to win a ton of games in the Big East this year. But
they don't look so great.
Look at Patino at St. John's. Going to be a fun season in the Big East. It's just you got to bring it every game or you go down.
Well, no, definitely. And that was what as I was watching the game. By the way, Carter ended up getting his shoes that he wore that game from the sneaker spot on Atwood Ave in Cranston. So it was one of the limited edition. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But it's called the reverse Grinches or whatever like that. And those were the shoes he was wearing the night that they ended up beating Marquette. If he didn't have that game, I think they would have lost.
He's elite defensively too, and now he's been shooting the ball. They need him to shoot that 3 ball. He's been making some big clutch shots. And by the way, I'm going to piggyback off that sneaker thing that you just mentioned. Rumor has it, my sources tell me that it's the whole sneaking the NIL thing because he's getting a little bit of a pay there for the thing. He was at the Cranston West Falcons basketball game the other night.
Who, Carter?
That's what my sources tell me.
No kidding.
Yes,
I would believe it if he was hanging out with the guys from like his Rockio's nephew and stuff.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, that was good stuff. I'm very excited for the PC season. I tried to win us tickets, but we at work and we didn't get them. All right, we have 8 minutes. Do we want to get into our Christmas? Do we have anything else before we want to get into our Christmas miracles?
Let's do it. Let's take it home.
Hold on.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to play a little bit. All right, so you want me to give you the present first, or do you want to receive or give? You want to flip a coin?
That's
I'm talking about football.
That's graphic.
Receive or give.
Oh, it still sounds. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what. All right.
Well,
no.
We got to talk about
8 minutes left. I got it.
That's off the air talk.
By the way, before we get into the gifts, just on the merch, just people that's all coming in, everybody's excited.
Yeah.
I've been distributing. I'm trying to help out here because this was your little baby, but I've been contributing. And Patrick Sullivan has ponied up, and he's you're gonna give me his, and I can actually deliver it to him. He wanted a shout out, so I said I'd give it to him.
Patrick, nice job, buddy.
So he came through.
All right, good. All right, he's gonna rock it. He's gonna look great.
Okay.
Did you see Heather at the game with the keeping score sweatshirt on?
She sent me a picture of it. Yeah.
And so why don't I have it? So I can post it on our social media. Like
I deleted it.
No.
Yeah.
Why would you? I have to text. Give me her number.
It looked like she had like the sweatshirt on, but then she had like something over. It's like what the idea is for it to be showcased.
You still see the brand, like Nike. You still know it's Nike when you.
That was really nice. That was really nice of her, and they came in.
She probably thought we didn't post it on purpose. Like,
oh wow,
we got to post.
Botched it. I didn't take pictures. All right, let's.
You're going here.
All right, let's do it. Okay.
I'm giving it to you first.
All right, we're on YouTube here, so you probably can see us doing some things.
All
Okay, you know. Not to mention the fact that you already kind of took care of me already with like all the swag. You even chucked me another T-shirt the other day, so it just keeps coming in.
That's our brand. You're going to wear it.
I know, but it's still like, I feel like you've already gone above and beyond.
No.
So Steve wants me to like kind of like make sure it's visible.
There you go. Very nice.
All right. Put a lot into this, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, I actually just did it.
Very nice bag.
Thank you.
How's Jess feeling, by the way?
She's going to bounce back. She's going to be okay.
Oh, wow.
I just gave COVID to everybody, so it was great.
You put my name on the little ticket.
I put partner.
Aww. To partner from partner, so it's very nice. I just wanted, okay. All right, let's get into it. I'm struggling. All right. I'm doing okay. All right.
Oh, my God. Just rip the bag.
I got it.
All right, here we go. Let's get that out of the way. Oh. You can take this home later.
All right. Interesting texture here. Nice wrappage.
This is like the 12 Days of Christmas on Pro FM with all the sounds.
Yeah, I kind of heard you doing one with some lady Donna the other day. It was kind of lame, but
all right,
whatever.
Shut up.
All right.
Shut up.
She was kind of lame, actually.
Right.
Oh, wow. That is something else.
Show the audience.
So it's I mean, I can drink alcohol in this, right? I mean,
yes, I made it for you. It's a keeping score Yeti. The reason I made it is you came to the house one time with the mixer thing.
From the trot. Okay, I guess we could say that on the air. But yeah, all right. So this is beautiful. This is so nice.
Yeah.
Keeping score logo on there.
Yep.
With the, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Beautiful. I love it.
And your drinks will always be cold. They'll never not be cold. That's what the Yeti's all about. And if Becky's listening, tell her I'm just sorry.
Yeti,
I didn't. Yeah.
This is beautiful.
She works for their competition.
This is so thoughtful. My gift's a lot less thoughtful.
Is it booze?
Yeah.
Is it? Hold on.
Well, no, I try to mix it up a little bit. And
all right.
All right.
Hold on.
Yep.
All right. We got
Read the
4
ticket.
minutes.
Read the ticket.
Ticket gains. To Jess and Jess love Dean. Okay, thank you. Brought to you by J-Lore, which I actually had to go pick some up today, so now I don't have to.
Oh wow!
Perfect.
So obviously
she'll destroy that.
That's little Jess's preference, and
Hey,
this would be your
Brought
preference.
to you by Grey Goose. This is perfect. Now I'm ready for the holiday season.
Now, obviously that was very simple, so I figured I'd do something that was like nothing. It's a very little
Wait, there's
token.
more?
Yeah, there's one little thing in the middle. I wanted to prove to you that I actually could wrap something.
Right,
so.
Oh, not a bad job. Well, you got a little extra paper here, but listen, I appreciate it. I appreciate you doing it. So hold on. Here we go. Can you see? Everything okay?
Now I'm going to preface this by telling the audience out there that what I gave you it's a little bit outdated. Some people don't use these anymore, but I think it would be nice in your house.
Is it a CD?
No, I think it would be nice in your like office at home. No.
Oh, very nice. My daily New York Yankees calendar. Is it like facts?
So I think it's something where like either there's little trivia nuggets or just it'll be like little quick hitters on each day.
Daily
That'll give you
sports
something.
calendar.
Yeah, so.
Fact or trivia on every page. I will be learning stuff. I will keep this readily available so I can impress you with my New York Yankees knowledge.
So I figured that was like as I was perusing through the mall, like you said,
calendar place.
the food court right over there, calendar place, and I got like some Swedish fish next door, and did all my errands. And one day I just figured, and I got the Red Sox version for myself.
Oh, very
So I used
nice.
to do it every year, and then I gave up, and then finally I said, you know what, I'm going back. I said Red Sox, and I saw Yankees, and I thought that would be a little token for my partner.
Babe Ruth had 68 multi-homer games as a member of the New York Yankees. That's pretty impressive. 68 multiple homer games. Well, see, I'm already learning something.
This
Good
is what I'm
stuff.
saying.
This is good stuff. Thank you very much.
Thank
Merry
you.
Christmas.
This is terrific. Yours
Yeah.
is this is great.
Well,
this is great.
now you don't have to walk around with your shaker cup, and you can actually have a real cup with a lid. It'll be nice.
This is terrific.
Yeah. So anyway,
Thank you so much.
No problem. If you want to check us out on YouTube, so we can show off Get all the merch. I'm ready for the weekend. Happy Christmas Eve. By the way, we're on YouTube and Instagram, and if you haven't gotten your merch, you will be getting it within the next week or so. But I think we're doing pretty good with that. And we're on 790 The Score Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. And thank you very much. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
All right. Oh, wait, we can still get a minute, so you can still
Going back with another minute. Did Mrs. Droops pick up his swag?
Yes, yes, Mrs. Droops, you got both of them.
For Steve DeMeo, Droops,
Yep.
so our loyal
Victoria
guys.
Snowden.
That would be Delcar. So that's
All right,
the
we
one.
need to get that.
Yeah.
All
He
right.
actually wants to meet up today. I don't know if I'm gonna have time. It depends on this traffic type situation.
Oh,
but
boy.
we'll get it. We'll get it to him. So and I'll 10 on Sunday. Of course, I give Mandarelli his. He was a loyal guy. So like there's a lot of sweatshirts hanging out there.
Yeah.
Mario from Safe House got his
Yes,
already.
beautiful.
So
All right. Did he win that competition? I got to check.
that's still going on.
All right,
That's still going on. He's you vote for him?
Of course I voted
I don't know
for
how
him.
to do it, so I
Yeah,
told him
this
that
is
you
a
would
surprise.
handle that.
Yeah, I'm
so,
shocked.
And
All
I told him, I said, I'm a Mario guy because there's a girl that's in it from Johnson, and her and I have a little history. We've been friendly for years. And I told him I'm loyal to my guy.
He was in the lead when I checked.
But,
so knock on wood. Hopefully
She
he's
looks
still there.
a lot better than I'm just saying she's,
Yeah. All right, now we should be done. This is Keeping Score with Jess and Dean, the Dream. Merry Christmas. We'll talk to you guys next week.
See ya.